Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chicagoland Championship Wrestling presents Pro Wrestling Tonight. I'm your host, John Bullard. Ladies and gentlemen, on April 4th, 2020, Chicagoland Championship Wrestling proudly presents their first huge event coming here to Michigan City, Indiana. For more information, please visit our website at www.chicagolandchampionshipwrestling.com and also visit us on our Facebook page, Chicagoland Championship Wrestling. At that event, you will see stars like C-Red, The Ice Pick, Vic Capri, Matt Dwar, Chaz Moretti, the manager of champions, and this gentleman coming up. He is known as the Rockstar Jonny Nigh. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we have Jonny Nigh on our show, take a look at this wonderful video package.
So you're all stars now, so you're what's in now, top of the world now, so you're the king. There's only one throne and I'm not done with it. Little sleeping, leaving 10 years and you're still hanging on my every word with bated breath. After a decade pushing boundaries, proving possible, making something from nothing, created larger than life. Always rejecting the herd, always ahead of the curve, writing those records, your favorite bands are. You're all so.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome our guests, Rockstar Jonny Nigh. Johnny, thank you for coming on to our show.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Hold on a second.
And sanitizer, really?
Yeah, I just can't be too careful, Just,
Oh boy.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, Johnny, since you and your hand sanitizer has definitely now made your presence known, we have a huge event coming up on April 4th here in Michigan City, Indiana, for Chicagoland Championship Wrestling. Now, the fans who don't know a lot about you is kind of crazy because to give people some hindsight about who Mr. Jonny Nigh is, he is actually the lead singer and frontman for the well-known national recording band, The Deeper End.
That is correct.
And you've also have done some work in some films and television, and also, of course, his talent in professional wrestling as well. Johnny, to get into the retrospect of your whole career, take us from the beginning. Where did you grow up at, and also how did you get yourself involved with both being a professional musician and a wrestler?
Well, John, that's a good question. I grew up in Crown Point, Indiana, and stayed there for until I was about 21. Had a big interest in wrestling pretty much my whole life. Since I saw, the Hulk Hogan's eras and the Roddy Pipers back early when I was real young, up through guys like Triple H and Edge, even CM Punk in the later years. Then when I turned 21, I realized that this area just really wasn't doing it for me anymore. I mean, at that point, I had already done Chicago music. I conquered that. I mean, we did all the major clubs in Chicago. I wanted to get on a national scale. So 21, I moved to Vegas. I got out of here. This place really didn't have anything for me. So I got to Vegas, where that was really a hotbed for us. Focused on music, really tore it down, went on really national tours, even world tours. We were really real big overseas. Russia loves the Deep End.
I actually talked to a fan the other day from Moscow.
Yeah.
That when I mentioned you on our Facebook page, messaged us talking about how he remembers seeing you guys back in 2008. You guys did a big show at the St. Petersburg Times Square type area there in front of, what was it, 20, 30,000 people?
Absolutely.
For that. So it was like a huge event for you guys at the Deeper End, yeah.
Yeah, they love us over there in Moscow. I don't know if they can fully understand what I'm saying when I sing, but they just love me.
Oh,
They
yeah.
love me.
Well, good music is good music.
It's very true.
That's universal language.
It's very true, John. I really appreciate you saying nice things about the band. That means a lot to me.
Well, you are a good artist, and the fans at home, if you haven't had a chance to take a listen to his music, definitely YouTube and also check out their music page, The Deeper End. Johnny is their front man, lead singer, rhythm guitar player, if I am correct.
Very, very correct.
You know, with music, how old were you when you first started playing music?
16, actually. Got my first guitar. Well, I started singing at that time as well. I got the guitar mainly so I could learn how to accompany myself without relying on other people. I mean, because you know, John, like, people aren't exactly the most reliable.
That's sad but true.
So you really got to make it for yourself. You got to make things happen. So that's what I did. You know, I went in, I got myself a guitar, I taught myself how to play. A few lessons, just, all they did was tab out music for me. So I said that was, you're not really helping me. So I'm going to teach myself.
Yeah.
So
you're more of a self-taught musician.
Exactly. I did go through professional vocal training just to perfect it. It was already good. I mean, come on, John. But it was, you got to add that little icing on the cake.
Whereas of our video package, the main music that you've seen in the video was actually you singing in your band's performance.
Yes, it was. That is my theme song that I've been using recently. I just recorded that actually about 2 months ago, and we got it finished. We are working on an album, our second album. Here probably should be. We're going to be touring off of it come springtime. Since I'm going to be stationed here, or for Chicagoland Championship Wrestling, since, I'm sure you talked to the powers that be, the lucrative contract that I got.
The board of directors did decide to give you a pretty lucrative contract to come work for us. That is true.
I wouldn't have come back to the Midwest if they didn't offer me that kind of contract. I mean, it's hard to turn that down. But so I'm going to be stationed here, so I might as well make the best of it. So we're going to be touring around Chicago. Maybe we might do some Indiana stuff just to get back to our roots, We'll get back to where we started. But that second album is really turning out really well. We pretty much have all the songs written. Now we just have to get in the studio and get them done.
And get it laid out, yeah. Very impressive. So with music, age 16, you broke in, learned how to play guitar, kind of became your own self-taught musician. How old was you when you got trained to become a professional wrestler? And what was the dawning moment of your time from being a traveling rock musician to then decide to kind of do I'd call it the Chris Jericho effect, but how Jericho went from wrestling to music, you went from music to wrestling. So what was the big change up for that?
That's true. Like, one of the things about music and wrestling, especially rock and roll, is they really go hand in hand, especially with me. I feel like the initial thing that drew me to wrestling when I was little was the big show, that overwhelming, it's always rock guitars and big effects, and like that stuff was awesome. So like I started with the music thing because I guess at that point didn't know how to get into wrestling effectively. And I kind of really fell into it, really because of my stardom. I got offered to get trained. I started a little later. I was 28 when I started wrestling, and man, I've been tearing it up since then. And it was really my first love because I loved wrestling before music. It kind of transitioned in high school. So, but never lost that love for wrestling. I've always watched. I've always been a fan. But yeah, it was more one of those things that when you fall into it and the opportunity is there to really make an impact and do something that you always wanted to do, you take it, especially when the band at that time had kind of slowed down. Me and the guitarist got into a fight. I kicked him out of the band right before we were supposed to go on tour, which kind of messed some things up. But you know what? He offended me, and this is my house, and you don't offend the owner of the house. So,
question then: what did he actually do to offend you?
Well, he made some comments I really didn't appreciate. Yeah, I don't know, John. Are you trying to stir the pot?
No, not trying to stir the pot at all, Johnny. I'm just trying to get down to the point of what actually happened between two well-known bandmates of a national touring band.
You know, he just was very nice to me. He said something about I was pitchy on one of the songs that I was doing, and you know, I really didn't appreciate that. I don't appreciate when somebody who isn't the singer comes at me like that. What are you coming at me like that? I made this band. This band is mine. And come on.
Okay. I mean, if that's what happened,
I mean,
I'll take your word for
if
it.
he's going to get like that with me, I mean, this. I brought him to the show. This is my project. You know, and we got a new lead guitarist now. He's a good guy. Treats me with respect instead of this guy. You know, it's all about respect with me, John. You remember that? Well, as this continues, I don't want to.
Hey, you know, this is a friendly talk show segment between
Don't want any problems.
two people, and nothing wrong with hiring yes men to come work for you.
Hey,
But
you know, if they do it right, the way I want it, then it's a good thing.
well, that's good. So, with you coming into professional wrestling, entering and winning championships from a lot of companies, one of the companies I think where you first got your notice at was actually Acme Pro Wrestling, if I'm correct.
Yep, Acme Championship.
Championship Wrestling.
Yeah.
I do apologize for the folks there at their company, but so
Yeah.
when you what year was it when you first started with them?
I actually started there in 2013. I was on their first show, actually. I started, was on the first show right off the bat. Wrestled the owner's brother, actually, on the first show. It's a good show. Of course, I won, you know, as I always do. I mean, I don't know what else you want to know. Like, I mean, I went through Acme Championship Wrestling. I won all the championships they had. I was the two-time Intercontinental Champion. And in between there, the only reason I am a two-time Intercontinental Champion is because I was injured. I had to give up the title, which was slightly disrespectful. I was a little upset about that. And same thing with the ACW Championship. Somebody hit me from behind, took me out for a couple months, had to vacate the title. You know, it is what it is. You know, nobody beats me for the title. I mean, it's a championship match. I don't lose championship matches, John.
We understand. Sometimes things happen.
Okay. I mean, I just want that to get across that I don't lose championship matches. For all of you out there, you give me a title match, I'm going to win.
So losing is never an option to you.
It's not an option, no. And I'm going to make sure of that. I mean,
Now for
there's some things in line.
Now for fans who want to see you wrestle outside of Chicagoland Championship Wrestling, what else companies do you previously or currently work for?
IPW, I've been doing since I moved back for this. You know, I've started working at a couple of other companies until this gets going. IPW's been really good to me. I've been working with Joey Roth with the world famous Fabulous Idols.
Yeah, Joey Roth is another person, multi-talented, does acting as well, and is considered by most people one of the most hated men in all of wrestling. But
Yeah.
you align yourself with him, and you guys have so far been very successful with your runs in both IPW and also Rocket Pro.
Absolutely. Rocket Pro has been really good. The fans over there are a little disrespectful. They don't appreciate our greatness, which is, it is what it is. Not everybody can be fantastic like us, can't be fabulous. But, they don't have to like it. But, I mean, the truth of the matter is we're going to take over. Like, it's just what it is.
So what do you mean by take over? Are you talking about taking over the entire company or taking over a division? What do you mean by taking over?
Oh, with the idols over there, I mean, we're going to take over everything. I mean, if it's tag championships, if it's, world championships, we're going to take them. I mean, we're not there to just be a pawn in the chess game. We're there to win. And I mean, we don't do anything just to do it. We do things strategically and make sure that it comes out our way, out on top.
Now, if you and Joey Roth being together both at IPW and at Rocket Pro,
Yes.
are you gentlemen planning to come to Chicagoland Championship Wrestling together as a package?
Not at this time. I mean, really, Joey is he wants to be. We're doing those things over there, and that's wonderful. But I feel like in Chicagoland Championship Wrestling, it's about me. I'm coming here. I got offered that contract. You saw it.
I've seen it.
You saw it. I got offered that contract for a reason, and I didn't come to Chicagoland Championship Wrestling to be second fiddle to anybody. And I'm not second fiddle to Joey and the Idols, but we're equals, and I don't want to be on an even playing lane with anybody in CCW. I want to be the main guy. I don't want the glory. I want the titles. And that's how I see myself coming into this company.
Is there anybody on the roster that you're looking forward to having a match with, or someone that you haven't had a chance to square off with that you're looking forward to having a one-on-one confrontation?
You know what? There's a lot of there really is a lot of talent in CCW. A lot coming, as you all have seen coming on to Facebook. There's been so many big names come out, like Marshe Rocket, Chris Logan. I mean, just to name a few. I mean, but
Those two gentlemen alone has won titles literally everywhere in the country.
absolutely. And I have a lot. I respect for them. I have that. They've done things, and I appreciate that. But they're not better than Rockstar Jonny Nigh. I mean, these guys have to understand that I'm coming to Chicagoland Championship Wrestling to take over. I'm coming to win all the championships. I'm coming to be the guy, not to be second fiddle. Even, all these guys have done major things. And now it's my time.
Outside of being with Chicagoland Championship Wrestling and also with your music, I've heard that you're opening up a brand new multi-state-of-the-art studio.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I heard it's like really out in the countryside area of Illinois, like southern Illinois, if I'm correct.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You want to elaborate on that, or?
Yeah, sure. I basically I bought a big piece of land from the Amish people. Well, I didn't buy it from the Amish people. I bought it from the bank. Apparently, you can't pay your mortgage in sheep.
That's horrible.
I don't know if you knew that, John, but you can't do that anymore. It doesn't work that way. So I bought a giant chunk of land, and I built a studio on there. Actually, it's being built currently, so don't get your hopes up. Don't,
I'm
not give it, and like,
I am no Frank Sinatra.
If you really want to tour, maybe we can do another interview, and I could give you a walk around, but like, I got to get paid for these things. I mean, like you guys flew me out for this, so like, come on. But basically, this studio is going to be state of the art. It's going to have everything. But you know what? I'm not a bad guy. Like, I know you. I see you looking at me like I'm a bad guy. Like,
so you did buy land off of the bank from people who farm for a living.
You know what? But I
mean,
tried. I gave them the opportunity, John. I emailed them probably 10 times. I called them. They didn't respond. Like, how many chances do I have to give these people? Like, they didn't respond, John.
You do know that most of those communities, they don't believe in modernization with electricity and emails and computers. You do know this, right?
John,
Johnny.
Like I said before, you cannot trade sheep as currency. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to nail a letter to a donkey and send it down there for him? They need to get into this century, John. They need to get into this century. I don't feel bad if they can't respond when I've sent them all the opportunities in the world. I was willing to help them out. They could have built my studio for me. And you know what? We could have had a great deal. I could have gave them a real nice lump sum of money to help them out, but they didn't answer. So now I got contractors, you know, that I paid, you know, I got some guys from somewhere else to come take care of it for me. You know, they were a little less expensive. I didn't want to deal with that. But, you know, it's not my fault.
For what I have been notified by is that there is a young gentleman that is from that community.
Hold on. I'm really thirsty. Just give me a second. Can I get some water? Please, come on. How long am I got to be in this interview before I get a drink? Sheesh.
Thanks to our assistant here for the water. I greatly appreciate you. Maybe Mr. Nye doesn't.
All right, John, what were you saying?
So there is a young gentleman that is coming from the community. His name is Zach Kibble. And he is actually the son of the folks that were the landowners of the property that you bought.
What was his last name?
Zach Kibble.
Kickham. Okay.
For what I went out and I did a little research.
Hold on, John. I'm going to kick him.
You want to kick him?
I'm going to kick him.
If you see how large this young boy is, I think you would probably want to step back a couple of inches. So.
All right, sorry. Continue what you're saying.
Anyway, we went out and we did a little investigation on the land. And when we encountered him, he wasn't too happy knowing that the land that been in his family ever since the 1800s was being bought and used for, no offense, your commercialization of your music and your films and propaganda and anything else that you're trying to spew. Anyway, he did tell us that he is looking forward to making his debut for Chicagoland Championship Wrestling. He's actually quite an accomplished wrestler in his own rights, coming from a family of hard-working Amish folks. And, well, I might have to give you a heads up that he is planning to get his hands on you as quick as he possibly can.
Okay. I look scared, John?
I think once you see this gentleman, I think you may kind of want to hire some backup. The young man can plow fields with his bare hands.
All right. Well, you know what? If you want to send me a picture or video or something on what this guy can do, and, you know, maybe we'll talk like, here's the thing. John, I'm not scared of anybody. If he wants to fight over it, it's fine. He ain't going to get his land back. It's already bought. We've already broke land, John.
So there is no opportunity you're giving them for an opportunity to buy back that land. I mean, you have multiple millions of dollars. You're a national known rock musician. You traveled all over the country.
Yeah.
You've been known in Europe, big in Russia,
Yeah.
which is probably the biggest country in the world. And yet you don't want to offer no opportunity, no guaranteed buyback, or at least make a bet where he can at least win it back from you?
Nah.
Wow.
That's all right. He's fine. He'll get over it. You know, he really, like, what options do he have? He's gonna buy it back? What money does he have that he's gonna buy it back? Like I said before, I don't accept sheep as currency.
So you're not going to let him try to earn it back or win it back at all? Not one opportunity?
I mean, what reason would I have to?
Well,
Well, I mean, that's all I mean, what does it do for me, John?
Johnny, you have to have a heart sometimes.
Yeah, you know, hearts are made to be broken, John.
Yeah, more's true spoken words from a poet. But I do have a feeling once April 4th, 2020 comes rolling in, you know, you might have to face down a Amish powerhouse across the squared circle face to face.
Living in this Amish paradise. See, churning that butter.
I think that's what Weird Al Yankovic would have said, but you know,
I'm glad you got that, John.
yeah,
Thank
good
you.
reference, good reference. But anywho,
Proud of myself for that one.
you wrote that all by yourself, huh?
That'll, you know, Weird Al helped me out.
Yeah, you guys buddies?
Yeah, he's pretty cool. He's you know, he's got that accordion.
I do have to say, I've heard this rumor once, back in the mid '90s, that you actually had a long-going feud with. I don't know if I could probably say this personally. Let's say the artist's name was close enough to Ron Rovey.
Really? We're going to go into that. That man's a hack. He opened for the Deeper End over in Russia, and he was a hack the whole time. He's pathetic. He's back in his 80s music. Get out of here. He hasn't made a new song in 20 years, maybe longer. What's he doing now?
Doing a lot of charitable work and helping out people and still doing Hollywood films. Well, I just had to mention it because you know, a lot of people kind of know why you and
I think I
Mr.,
punched him in the throat, actually.
you and Mr. Jovi don't get along
He's
so well.
Hack. Hack, John.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, in our closing segment here, we want you to know that we value the hardworking people of this great country, those who farm the land, work with their hands, and most of all, our loyal fans as well. April 4th, 2020, we're going to look forward to having a great event in Michigan City, Indiana, coming here all the way from Chicagoland Championship Wrestling. And for all of us, maybe not Mr. Jonny Nigh, but we want to wish all you folks a great night. And Johnny, I probably regret this, but any closing statement?
Yep. You know, just look for me at Chicagoland Championship Wrestling. You know, I'll be the one with all the gold.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for tuning in and help us all with Jonny Nigh causing destruction and chaos. But you folks have yourself a wonderful night.